Hi, everybody. This is Gail. Welcome to my live stream tonight. Let's see. We've already got folks in here. I hope y'all's week has been going great. All right. Let me say hello to. We've got Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man the Hero, in saying that Christmas is about a month away. It's actually a little over that. And some of us need every minute we can. 76 days to Christmas, he's saying. 76 days. And it's starting to feel like Christmas. It's not quite starting to feel like Christmas here. Not yet. We're getting close, though. We had some temperatures down in I think it was the mid-30s the other night. And we've got Tanya Lambert in the house. Hey, Tanya. And Candy the wee service dog. And there we go. And Candy's saying, how are you doing, Tanya? Glad you're able to be here tonight. And I will second that. All right. Well, welcome tonight. I hope y'all are having a good night. I hope your week was going great. My phone is telling me to charge it. So let me plug this thing in. I got a new phone and it says, feed me. Check your charger connection. Make sure the cable and charger are properly connected. Can y'all believe that? I mean, really. There we go. Don't you just hate seeing messages like this pop up on your phone? Totally crazy. And let's see. I've got hubby in there cooking dinner for me. So if we hear banging or the smoke alarm detector going off, we know why. Speaking of dinner, Tanya says, thanks. Glad to be here. She's just eating dinner. She's having loaded baked potato soup. Sounds delicious. So, hi, Tanya. And we have Big Tom's Van in the house. So, hi, Big Tom's Van. Welcome back. Tanya's asking, what's for dinner? We're going to have pork chops and kale. And then, for the first time ever, we're going to have fingerling sweet potatoes. So, I don't know how this is going to be. But we get the Misfits boxes. I've talked about those before, the boxes of fruit and vegetables that come. And so they were in the Misfits box. I saw them listed, and I thought, well, that just sounds kind of interesting. So I ordered them and then forgot I ordered them and didn't look up recipes. So this is going to be interesting. Hubby gets to figure it out. It's a Samsung. I got it's a little Straight Talk prepaid. Little Samsung there, and got a little cheap little $5 case. So hopefully that'll help protect it. But I've had pretty good luck with Samsung, more so than the LG and some of the others. So as far as durability is concerned, they've all got essentially the same operating system. Android's Android, but well, you have different versions of it. But Android's Android still. But they have been pretty sturdy, and I haven't broken them like I did like the LG and the Huawei, something like that. Because that one was a crash and burn straight off the bat, folks. And let's see. Big Tom's Van is saying hi, y'all. And Tanya's saying hi. And Candy's saying hi. Oh, which Samsung? It's the A20. Little pricier than I usually go, but I had a gift card from Walmart that I got back at Christmas that I found. So that took care of a huge chunk of it. And it was perfect timing to find that card. Because mine quit completely. You have the S8. Yeah, I'm not quite as advanced as that. Yeah, not me. So I have big news about the service dog front. Y'all ready for my big news? Well, as you all know, I've been without a service dog since Tomlin passed away in March. And I announced that months ago, and I always get a little upset. So I'm not going to talk about that. But I have good news in that I applied to an organization a while back and got word by email to expect my acceptance letter in the mail soon. So they have accepted my application for another dog. And as soon as I get the letter, I get the task of fundraising. And it looks like my budget for fundraising is going to be around, I think, $7,800. The dog itself is $5,000, but I have to spend 1 to 2 weeks in Kansas. So I'm figuring 2 nights out to go to Kansas, 3 nights coming back, because I figure we'll travel a little slower coming back because we don't know how the dog's going to travel until we get there. So 2 nights there, I'm figuring 3 nights back and meals plus gas. I think we have identified a couple of campgrounds. Okay, Tanya's saying 1 week. Let me pull this up. First, she says yippee, which is awesome. In time for fundraising, right? No, I don't use a diesel air heater. I can't do diesel well. It triggers my asthma. So I can't help you with that. Because if I don't do electric or propane, I get sick. Tanya says 1 week. I saw it with 1 week listed or 2 weeks. So I thought if I did a fundraising goal of 2 weeks, then as it gets closer, if I find out for sure it's 1 week, then I can just cut the amount of fundraising that I'm going to need to do. So I'm just looking at it. But the difference in 1 week or 2 week was around $200, $300. I forgot which. I'll have to go back and look because there is a couple of campgrounds, but they're first come, first serve. So I can't guarantee that they're going to have a space once we get there. If they have a space, then it's really pretty cheap. One of them is donation only. The other one's a little bit higher than that, but both of them, it's like $100, a little over $100 for the week at the most expensive one. So, yeah. So that's what I'm figuring, plus some meals and, you know, groceries here, groceries there. So, yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. And I've got some miscellaneous expenses. I think, Tanya, I want to get with you on that and figure out kind of what kind of odds and ends and stuff I might need. Your mom drove it straight through. I've got to drive to Virginia. I don't know. That's really, we're not going to be able to do that. Plus, we'll either be pulling the trailer or we're going to be in the van camper, and probably going to do the trailer unless he can't get off from work and I have to go out by myself, in which case it'll be the van camper. So, but I'm factoring the preliminary budget is for the travel trailer. I'm kind of hoping that we can do the travel trailer for lots of reasons. Number one, having more space. And I think that would be better for the service dog. So as far as like in the evenings and stuff, but I've got a while before we get to that point. So yeah. And for us to drive it from where we are to do it in 2 nights out is kind of pushing it a little bit. So yeah, we'll see. Again, Peter Parker saying 76 days till Christmas. Candy's working on some artwork for you to use in the auction, which is awesome. It is usually 1 week. That helps. Because that'll take care of the food and a place to stay for a week. So, excuse me. Okay. It's not COVID or anything bad. I just have allergies right now. So sorry about the sneeze. So it's good to know it's usually 1 week. Big Tom Span is saying that he heard when the Pony Express started, it took 23 days from St. Louis to San Francisco. Wow. That was really probably pretty fast at the time when you consider the fact that I think average travel was like 20 miles a day or something. The artwork is mixed media 3D paintings. Oh, that's going to be amazing. Yes, Big Tom Span, she is. She's an artist. Thanks, Candy. I am nervous, excited. This is a terrible time to be doing fundraising. So little nervous about that. But we did find out that our Flex account with the insurance, I can put a little bit of it on there. So that's gonna, a couple of $100 is a couple of $100. And that has to be for direct service dog expense, not like money or anything. And Peter's saying hi to everybody. Yeah, food often is the biggest expense, but you got to eat. I'm hoping that's one reason for taking the trailer is so we can cook. I'm really hoping we don't have to do meals. I'm really hoping we don't have to do meals like at a restaurant. You go out to eat daily? I kind of didn't factor that in. Okay. I'll talk to you about this some more and do some figuring. And Candy, the Wee Service Dog, says, yes, Bob, I'm an artist. She is. Yeah, Christmas is what I'm thinking. Places like Applebee's and Pizza Hut. See, we don't have either one of those. Walmart and a mall is where the access test is. That's good to know. Yeah, it's the season for allergies. It's just crazy. Tanya's asking about the art and Candy's clarifying. Okay. Graduation is at 5:30 p.m. on Friday and then leave after. Okay. So we would probably wait then and leave early Saturday morning. Check out the Brown Grand Theater. I'm going to write that down. So anyway, I'm so excited. Tanya says, for Christmas, I'm baking peanut brittle and fudge. That'll be cool. I love peanut brittle. I plan to attend the whole week. I'm going to do whatever they tell me to do. So, yeah. So, anyway, now the fundraising begins. Since it's close to Christmas, I hope people are going to be in the mood to buy Christmas gifts, hopefully jewelry, because it's going to be reasonable. Oh, wow. The Brown Grand is where graduation is. It's a replica of the Ford Theater. Nice. I've been to Ford Theater. I can compare that, although it's been a while. Yes, I agree with Candy's comment about, peanut brittle. Yeah. So, Big Tom Span, you said something about the heater. I didn't do diesel. The heater that I've used is the Mr. Heater Big Buddy and gotten great results with it. So we did it. I got a propane tank for it, the single propane tank, but have to have the extra hose and stuff. It really did good, but I can't do diesel. Big Tom Stan says, jewelry, ? Yeah. one of the things I do is I make jewelry, and I have done jewelry for many fundraisers. And usually I just give it away or give half of it away. Sometimes I'll do like ask for 50% for beads. So, and keep the prices reasonable. I mean, you know, you don't want to like gouge somebody. Candy says, yes, definitely sell your jewelry. I'm going to sell everything. And I've been thinking about like for the mission trips, like where I've tried to help raise funds to like get to Alaska and so forth. I've been trying to think, okay, what were the biggest sellers? And jewelry sold really good. And Christmas cookies. Now, Christmas cookies were like the thing. Oh my gosh. Because once people found out that our team was selling those, it was Katie bar the door because they basically sold themselves. And we did sugar, we did white chocolate peppermint, and we did chocolate chips. And we made over 1,000. It was like 1,200 and something cookies. And it was a huge fundraiser, but I can't do that right now because of COVID. So, never made it before. Big Tom's man says all he makes is trouble. Let's see. Candy Dewey Service Dog says, my daughter and I love the music-shaped jewelry. Awesome. Well, I'll be looking at some more. So, yeah, and there's other fundraisers. You know, we're talking about the van. Somebody suggested to me that I could talk to him at a campground and get some singers in and do like a 2-night camping thing where we have like the camping one night and then all day music and some food available and stuff. And then everybody would go home the next day unless they wanted to stay. But do the 2 nights and have the festival like during the second day. And I think that's a great idea, except you can't do that either because of COVID. But I've got a while to figure this out. So, but that was tossed out as a possibility. So I don't know. I'm not too far from a campground, but they charge. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm open to suggestions. Totally open to suggestions. And Tanya, I'm glad you like them. Gail, we could maybe do a live stream fundraiser. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I have that on the possibility list. Maybe I should just post my possibility list over in the group one day and we can talk about it there. I kind of like to do an auction too on others can send donations directly to them in your name. That'll be good to put out there too. And that would be great, Tanya. So there's a couple of different auctions that have been suggested to me. One is just a general auction. And the other one is because I like to travel and because I like doing van stuff. The other idea that was given to me was to try to do some kind of auction just for RVers and van dwellers. But I got to figure out what that would look like because we have such tight requirements in a van camper and it's so individualistic that I'm not really sure how that would work. So I'm going to have to put a thinking cap on for that. But a general auction online, there's still a couple of different, 4 different ways that I can do that. So that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So let's see. And let's go back up. Candy says that would be great. Tanya says, if you want to do an auction, I'll send some ceramics I paint to put in. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do an auction. The question is, am I going to do 1 auction or 2 auctions? So 1 definitely with like a general auction. I just can't think of what I would do specifically for a trailer or RV other than ask places if they want to donate something that's got like a van motif on it or an RV motif on it. But even then, like I said, it's so highly individualistic. I mean, yeah, we all need towels, but I don't know that van dwellers are going to want towels. And I don't care to ask people if they want to donate like Walmart gift cards or oil change cards and maybe sell those. But I don't know. Lots of thought. But I have some time because I know I'm not going to be able to turn around to get the service dog like tomorrow. So, you know, they've got to have time to find it and for the little guy or girl to grow up. And my daughter is coming up with like tons of names. So we may do an original name. I think they're probably going to name the dog. And then we might do a nickname. Who knows? Candy says, that's what I want you to do with my artwork. Do a silent auction was what I was thinking of. I could do a silent auction, sort of. I think it might be better to do an auction like on Facebook or on my blog or even here, but do something where people can kind of tell what the bidding is. Or maybe an eBay auction, something like that. Ask places if you could put a jar out for donations. They're not doing that here. That's a thing. Because I was talking to him at the gas station and mentioned that. Not specifically like for me, but I'm like, you know, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I just asked, you know, I don't see a jar up here. And he's like, oh, no, we don't do jars. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, people can't put that kind of stuff out here. And I was like, okay. So I don't think that's going to fly because we only have like 2 gas stations. Tanya says she did that and had a small note taped on the jar with my reason for it. Yeah, and see, Stellar, that's how she bought her flute. She sold cookies and brownies and stuff in a little convenience store and put a note on the basket. But, you know, they won't let her do that. I think that was really cute. Tanya's saying that they name each litter has a theme, like Archer was the orphan train. She's saying just do an open auction where anyone can bid, not our group. That's why I was leaning toward eBay. Plus, with eBay, I know that they have fees, but if you do it for a nonprofit auction, then eBay cuts their fees for that, and so does PayPal. So maybe there's so much. A really cool fundraiser I wish we could do here, but it's not going to work because we have pumpkins being sold on like every corner, and that is Pumpkins USA. They will bring the pumpkins out and you sell them the 2 weeks before Halloween. And if your pumpkins get stolen or if a storm takes out your pumpkin patch, they absorb it. So it's no out of pocket for you and whatnot. And why am I waving a pin around? Sorry. Don't know. I do that sometimes when I'm speaking to a group. I'll have a pin. So I don't know. Candy says you would set a time limit on Facebook. For example, set a day and time for bids. Yeah, I'm thinking that. So I've got so many ideas. And Tony said, I asked people I knew groomer and art gallery. That would be a good idea too. And I used to do fundraising for a nonprofit group. So I have no qualms asking places for money. But I even thought, you know, maybe put it out there a little bit more about sponsored blog posts or something over on the blog. So we'll see. Lots and lots of things. And I want to get some travel stuff. Candy's saying, don't forget to sell your postcards. Totally agree. want to get some travel stuff. So we'll see. Lots of things. And as much as I would like to do an auction in the fall, I don't know that I can get it together except on jewelry. So it may be spring before I do an auction, which, like I said, I've got time. Even if they were to go out today and get it, I don't know how they do this, but even if they were to go out to like today and get the puppy and I had all the money in, the puppy still got to grow, you know? But anyway, that's my exciting news for the week. I'm so stoked. And in other news, I know that some of you who are on the Facebook page, I don't think I posted it to the group yet. I'm not sure. But we did find out that my foot and ankle, they're not broken. It's my problem with swelling and stuff that I have is it's the foot drop combined with apparently a fair amount of arthritis. Not surprising there. And I've got some problems from an old break that I had. And the break goes back to about a year ago. So there's just some residual issues with that. So it's a bunch of things. You know, but I feel like any day that I can get up and I am upright, even if I fall or whatever, you know, it's a good day. Even if it's not, even if things go wrong, it's still a good day. So y'all know what y'all know what I'm saying on that. And please, by the way, I've got a sticky note up here to remind you to please don't forget to click the like button. I don't know why I was talking to myself there. Let me shut this off. Okay. So, but yeah, if you'd hit that like button, I would appreciate it because, and I've said this before, but YouTube is getting like to be a really stickler on that. The more comments, the more engagement, the more likes, the more shares, it all helps. So I appreciate that. And last week, I asked you all to go to the other video and comment and connect with people there because it's kind of hard. Thank you, YouTube. It's kind of hard to do that here in the stream. So I think we talked about going to the travel trailer last week. It was Tennessee River Museum is what we talked about. So that's where we went and commented last week. So if there's somebody there that left a comment and you want to connect with them, by all means, go connect. So, and for this week, the video that went up on Thursday is the David Crockett Birthplace State Park. So if you want to go over there and leave a comment, I'm going to go ahead and post this in the chat right now. And that way you can go over there and leave a comment and connect, and that might help. So there we go. That's for the David Crockett Birthplace State Park. And hopefully I'm just trying to make it a little easier to connect. And let's see, let me go back to the chat. Yeah. Thank you, Tanya. That's what I need. And I appreciate that. Big Tom's fan said, that's me. Wake up and not dead. It's a good day. Absolutely. There you go. Tanya says, good news. My friend's son will not lose his leg. He has to be off it for a while for 3 weeks. That is so fabulous compared to what it was going to be. I'm going to mark that off my list. Okay, marked off. Need a Big Tom. Gotcha. Thank you, Tanya. It was frustrating, but the thing is, and what she's talking about is the video opens kind of about, I don't know, 20, 25 seconds into it. You hear people laughing. And what happened was I was at the David Crockett Birthplace State Park here in Tennessee, which is a very cool park. I do have to say, had a great time. Lots of history. The campground is really cool. Nice staff. Okay, I've got to say that. But these were customers or guests or park goers, whatever you want to call them. And we'd seen part of the park, and I wanted to go over to the gift shop because I'm traveling across Tennessee to show people unique places where you can possibly social distance. And I want to support small businesses. So part of that is going into the gift shop and trying to buy something. I'm walking up to it, and it's kind of a hike from the parking lot. And I was not using my walking stick, but I was holding on, the railing and the sidewalk, or not sidewalk, but those, I guess landscaping, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I was walking up, obviously having trouble because that's what I do. I limp, but I go. So as I'm walking up, I hear these people laughing, and I'm like, great. And it's a group of people. They're laughing. And as I come walking up, I hear them talking about like the handicapped, and then somebody is like, oh yeah, needing a handicapped ramp, and they're all kind of laughing and looks fun and acting all like idiots. Okay, I'll just call them what they are. And I got the distinct impression, since they were staring at me when they were saying this and laughing at, and since I heard somebody say, oh yeah, I see that, or oh yeah, I see her, I'm still not sure which, I kind of felt like it was directed at me. So it was one of those things, like as you got up real close to him, and like as I'm almost there, then the conversation just kind of stops, which was really weird because they had been walking around. So I still, that's another reason why I felt like it was like me, directed at me. But I was recording, so I got some of this on video. I did not get their faces, nor would I have gotten their faces, because I don't think it does any good to publicly shame anybody. I had decided, though, that I was going to confront them, and I turned the camcorder off for a while, because as I got up to the visitor center, it's closed for lunch, and I have like 15 minutes, something like that, to wait. So obviously I'm waiting in the same general area. We were all I was socially distanced from them, but they were a group, so they were all together. So I'm like, I'm going to turn the camera back on, and I'm just going to go say something. And as I walked over to them, they're talking about their grandkids. And I'm like, crap. Because I was not going to put them on camera at all, even their bodies, when they've got grandkids. Somebody has taken me to task for that, but here's the thing. It's not that I wanted to give them an easy out, but you got to think, if a kid has got grandparents like that they're living with or going to see frequently, because I really couldn't kind of tell which it was from this lady kind of talking, then do you want to take a chance that grandma's face is going to be on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, and you're going to see that and hear it from the kids at school? So I got the voices with me walking up. I just did not feel like that was going to be a good thing to do with grandkids. So you can call me chicken, whatever. It's not that I didn't want to say anything. And it's certainly not that I necessarily truly chickened out for saying anything. But, You don't know how people are going to respond these days, how bad they're going to lose their temper, if they're carrying, if they're not carrying. So I wasn't going to say anything to them without recording it. Then when I heard the grandparents talking about the grandkids, rather, no. But I still got a clip of it on the video because I think it's worth talking about that, because it's not cool to make fun of anybody who's disabled. It's just not. And even if it wasn't aimed at me, the fact that they were, which I do think it was, but even if it wasn't, let's just say benefit of the doubt here. Even if it was not aimed at me, the fact that they're talking about handicaps and laughing and joking about it, come on, So hopefully, even though I didn't do all that, hopefully that will start a conversation with people where they can at least talk to their kids, and really and truly, the grandparents, they've already made up their minds. Nothing I say or do is going to change the mind of somebody who's behaving like that in a very public place. Nothing. They're old, or I don't want to say old. They're about my age. So let me not say old. But they're older. They're not children. They're not Zoomers. They're not millennials. Definitely, I would say good solid Gen X. So not necessarily boomers, okay? So yeah, I think the best thing we can do is have some conversations with the younger kids. But anyway, thank you. That's my big rant. Let me go back in here. Okay. Tony said she loves the tips for those of us who have limited mobility. Thanks so much. You are welcome. I hope that helped. And Candy said, oh, I went off about the bullying. Preach. I hear you. Definitely adults should have known better. And I could have excused it more if these were like middle school kids, because that's what the actions to me were like. But anyway, I agree, Tanya. Grown adults being such horrible examples to their children. I agree. Tanya said she would have lost her temper. She's not redheaded for nothing. Oh, honey, I'm part Italian. Believe me, I can lose my temper. And I have been known to. I mean, I'm the person who threatened to throw my daughter's school principal in jail because I didn't like how he was doing. But anyway, so I got no qualms speaking up. Big Tom's fan says, Grandma Bully 1.5 million views. Oh my. Yeah, I don't think it would have done any good. But when you've got grandkids in the picture and you're running a risk of grandkids getting made fun of at school, I mean, come on. I just can't. I remember too much what it was like to be, like 12, 13, 14, or in high school, So, yeah. But thank you all for your support on that. But anyway, the rest of the video is about the park, and I've only got about 15, 20 seconds about this. So like the first minute. But the park, I have to say, was like the really cool place. It is not on the beaten path. You have to make plans to specifically go to this park, because you're not just going to get off on 75 and back on. You got some miles to go to off of 75 and whatnot. So you're going to, and it's kind of not the easiest thing to find, and that's because signage isn't good, but that's welcome to Tennessee. But anyway, great park. And there is, what impressed the heck out of me is like the same thing that kind of impresses me when I go to the Chickamauga battlefield around the Chickamauga, Georgia, Chattanooga area. And they have these large monuments. And the monuments, for the most part, have been put there in like the late 1800s. And they are still standing. And you could almost say that these look brand new. So that always impresses the heck out of me. So this has got a monument from late 1800s or so, and it's pristine. And it's about, of course, about David Crockett and his life, and it talks about some of the things that he does. It's right there on the monument. It's really a pretty cool place. Farmstead, critters running around. You know, if you go close to some of the buildings, you got chickens running around your feet or guineas running around your feet, depending on where you're standing. So it's really cool. Y'all, there's my comment about the park. So you can watch the video if you want to. I just told you most of it. But anyhow, if you want to connect with other people, go over there and leave a comment. Make it a little easier there. Okay, back to the comment section. Candy says, Gail, I also make draft catchers to put in front of your door or in your windows to keep drapes flush against the window. I make animals and shapes. Okay. I will tell you, Candy, you are the one who mentioned this before about making a draft catcher. That has been, for my van camper, I have to tell you, that has been fabulous. Because I've got two. My back, and I probably should take a photo of this sometime and put it on the blog, but I have got one across the back door of the van, and one across, there's the wheel well that you can step in on the side of the van. That's where most of my air comes in the van. So I made these, and I've got them right there by the doors. It has helped tremendously. My van's got a lot of insulation in it, and that really helps. But those have been great to cut the draft. You're the one that gave me that idea, and I appreciate it. So I looked it up a couple of different places online. I did use the bags of rice. I thought the rice was helpful. I saw where somebody online had used pinto beans. They had made the tube and they put pinto beans in it. And, you know, all I could think of was the possibility that I would spill a drink or a bottle of water in the van, and then 2 weeks later, I would have pinto beans trying to push up through the fabric. So definitely use the rice. And I just put the rice, I left it in bags. So it does have a little gap here and there. But if I ever do something stupid, like I'm van camping and I forget to go to the store, I'm actually going to take the rice out of the bag and cook it if I need to. Only I would think that way, you know, only me. But I don't know if I ever told you that, but you're the one that gave me the idea, and I very much appreciate it. So, and Candy is saying the cost to make them is very minimal, and that is true. And yes, beans will do that. They will. They will. And with me, what I used to make them was I had, I had two things. I have an old piece of material, and then I had an old pair of jeans that I had worn out in places. So I just cut the leg off and ran that other seam, turned it right side out, stuffed them, and just sewed the ends of it. Super easy. So yeah, other than the cost of rice, I didn't have anything in it. Yeah. See, I could just see that. And I'm a klutz, okay? I'm a klutz. Like, how many times have you seen me turn my drink over on a live stream? So, klutzy me, I know it's going to happen. Right? Big Tom's fan is saying bean sprouts. You got it. And I can just imagine the smell, just saying. You use gravel from Har. Okay. I didn't think about gravel. I'm okay on the rice. But the big thing is that, oh, hey, how are you? Hi, stop by. Hope you and John are doing good. We are. How about you? It has been a while. So yes, thank you. And Big Tom's fan, if you're looking at solar, this is one to talk to. I don't know if you know John Off Grid, Try on Solar, but you might enjoy hooking up. He was able to answer a lot of our questions about solar because he's completely off grid. And you may not need anything, but I'm just going to toss them out there. Oh, Candy says you can use gravel from craft stores and hardware stores. I didn't think about gravel. I actually am not sure at the time that I was looking that I saw any kind of tutorials or anything about using gravel, which I'm sure is probably the same as using the rice and stuff. But yeah, but I'm good. It has been just a huge help. And I like the fact too that making it yourself, you have the exact length that you need, because in the van, nothing is the same length. It's not even rectangle. Everything's curved, which you don't really worry about that too much when you're doing something, the draft thing for the doors. But when you're doing other things, you realize real quick that the thing's curved. And so the only thing is when you're doing the draft thing, I can't think what it's called. But anyway, the thing to block the draft, when you're putting that together, it does have to curve a little bit. So you can't do anything that's really stiff. So, but anyway, yeah, it's just been a huge help. Big Tom's fan says, love my solar, need more. Well, solar's awesome. Let's see. Tanya says, I was making a lot of potato soup because I have to have 9 teeth pulled and want it for when they are healing. Tanya, I'm so sorry. That's going to hurt. And I'm so sorry. Candy says ground walnut shells are very popular. Yeah, that was never on my radar screen at all. Neither was the gravel. Tanya says, I think solar is amazing. I do too. And Candy says, I hear you, Tanya. Yep. Oh, good. Tanya got her apartment washer. That is awesome. What kind did you wind up getting? I'm sure. But I'm glad you're doing okay, John. And tell Amber hello for me. Please, please, please. And Tanya says, I'm not worried about it. I get dentures. I'm so excited to be getting them. There you go. There you go. And again, just a reminder, click like if you haven't already. And Tanya says, have to look. Okay. Oh, John says he's getting the truck running. All right. There you go. I'm glad. Because you need reliable transportation. Everywhere from North Georgia on up. You got to have it. Oh, Tanya says it was a gift. Even better. And Candy says, Tanya, you can ask for dissolving stitches so you won't risk a dry socket. Okay. Yeah, I have loved my washers. I've got 2 because John messed me up. My John, not John off grid, try on solar. Because we had the van laid out, and so we had to change some of the inside of the van, and because of the storage for the mission team totes that I was taking to Alaska, and without thinking about it, he lowered my main storage cabinet by just enough that I could not put that best choice washing machine under it and in there to save my life. So for going to Alaska last year, I got a Cuppet. And, you know, I like it. I like the best choice better because it's bigger, but I'll take anything that cleans so I don't have to go find a laundromat. And I will say the trip to Alaska paid for the cotton picking machine. Just saying. And Candy said, okay, dissolving steel. Oh, Tanya says Kenmore. All right. Very good. Thanks. She is such a sweetie. I'll be glad when she gets her phone taken care of and we can see her more often. And Tanya says, thank you. And Tanya says, I will. Yay. I'm so glad. Boots are so helpful on dogs. You just don't have to worry as much. Big Tom's fan says, yeah, solar. I want one more battery. So I ripped out my cabinet and remodeling to have 600 amp hours. There you go. There you go. You know, one of the things I was really disappointed on, we bought the travel trailer and I'm talking to the guys and I'm like, solar, solar, solar. And they're like, oh yeah, you can set it up on solar. You've got an inverter. Absolutely no problem. You are set and you are good to go. But no, I'm not. It's so frustrating because I wanted solar on that trailer so badly. And it's going to be a major issue to do it. What they were talking about, we were talking and using the same words, but we weren't talking about the same language. And so when I said to them, I want solar, and they're telling me I'm set up, it's no problem, we were coming at it from two different angles. And so when I say I want solar, I'm saying I want to be able to run everything in there on solar that I need to. I want to be able to charge my laptop and run the lights and get enough solar to run the refrigerator because the refrigerator can run off battery. So I want enough solar to keep the bank charged so I can do all that. Well, what happened was when they heard me say, I want solar, they're like, oh yeah, you're set up, no problem. So what they're talking about is I could hook up solar to charge the battery that runs the refrigerator. I don't have enough room for a battery bank that's big enough to run everything off of solar. I sure can't do the air conditioner or anything like that, which I was really kind of hoping I would be able to have enough space to put enough batteries in there to do it. And I can't do that. And it's just that we were talking about it from two different angles. And he was like, yeah, it's already partially wired for that. All you have to do is get the solar panel and you hook it up. And that's not exactly quite as easy as that, but same words, two different meanings. And we kind of didn't get that figured out until we got home. And I'm like, okay, where are the batteries? He had said we had batteries. And silly me, I think we're talking the same thing. He thinks we're talking the same thing, and we're not. So kind of frustrating. So good for you for having battery space for 600 amp hours. I'm a little jealous. And Tanya says the laundromat is expensive, and yes, it is. Of course, I still have to, with the washing machine I've got, it only spins the water out of the clothes. So I still have to hang them up and let them dry or go into the laundromat and dry them in the dryer. But even if I'm washing them and going to the laundromat to dry, I'm still saving money. But I've only had to do that like twice. And one of it is because I had to wash clothes and it was raining. And the other time it was really, really humid. And so, like, nothing was drying. Tanya says we miss her as well. It's good to see you, John. Double. And John says we need it to work on our house and get some more solar panels. Gotcha, LOL. Gotcha. Big Tom's fan said, well, I killed one, and now I know why. They are called drink bugs. Stink bugs. Tanya says, she's talking about her teeth. She says, I have one more fitting, and then we remove the rest of my teeth. It is thanks to the dentist we found my osteoporosis. Aha. We found my osteoporosis because the endocrinologist said, we're going to test for this. Apparently, one of the things that went with my adrenal thing was possibly some osteoporosis. And unfortunately, I'm right. They were right. But hey, going back to what we said earlier, I'm upright. I'm alive. And before I had the adrenal gland removed and the mass from the adrenal gland, I would go walk for a little bit and I would get sick and shaky. So that kind of affected things too. But Big Tom's fan says, yeah, bigger batteries. Gotcha. You each were having a different conversation. Yeah, it was the exact same words. And my husband and I did this one night because we were talking about windows for the van, and I wanted to see if we could get some put in that would slide open, which the window place said I couldn't do, but I really could. I found out later. But anyway, we were talking about the windows. And so the conversation had kind of lulled. And then like a couple of minutes later, he says something about windows and he's getting upset. And I'm like, why are you upset over windows? Well, he's upset because his computer was screwing up and he was talking about that windows. So, yeah, maybe it's just me. Aha. Stellar is in the house. Hey, Stellar. Working on a PowerPoint for church tomorrow. Jobs. We'll let you have a pass on being late. Big Tom's fan says $2,000 in batteries, but I can make coffee. There you go. He says, John's saying that they make stuff so you don't have to put holes in the roof. That'd be good. But I've got to have a place to put the batteries, and I don't in the trailer. In the van, you can design it, where you want to put the batteries, but you really can't in the trailer. And if we do too much to it, then we'll void the warranty, and we sure don't want to void the warranty. Stellar says, Big Tom's fan, I like your priorities. And Instapot. So cool. John saying if you put in a 48-volt system, it's nice. We went to the 48-volt. You go. And PIP inverter. That's the one to use. Tanya's saying that her jaw was way too small and it didn't look quite correct. It's part of cerebral palsy that can cause a jaw problem. But he said, I have my GP test for both. I have both problems. Gotcha. Nope, everyone has this problem. And hi to Stellar. Yeah, 2000 sounds like a lot, but once you start getting into solar, it goes fast. And yeah, you can go cheaper. You can go a lot cheaper, but you won't be able to do anything. And so he's got his Instapot. He's got his... Your air conditioner runs on that too, right? And he's got his coffee maker. Yeah, his van. And John's saying if you went to 48 volts, so much better. There we go. And Candy's saying hi to Stellar. So. And Stellar, you need to go and watch the video on the David Crockett's Birthplace State Park. I don't think you've done that yet. Because I've already gone on this huge rant about it, so I'm not going to rant now, but Stellar, it'll set off your advocate streak. Just saying. Yeah, Big Tom's van can run the AC. So, if you want to go on solar and you want to be able to do anything with your solar, you're going to put some money in it. And once you put that money in it, then you are done with campgrounds, unless for some reason you just really want to go. So, I mean, that saves money. And like, state park campgrounds are not that expensive, but if you wanted to do a KOA, then you're still looking at $55, depending on where you are, up to like $75 a night. So, you're talking about $2,000. Just think how many nights. If you travel a lot, or if you boondock a lot, which is what most people do who have the van, is we're mobile and we like to travel, then you're paying for it. Because it's not just that you have the solar and you're not having to be on the campground, but with the solar, you're not having to go into a restaurant. You can just get your own food and cook whatever you want to whenever you want. Well, you're all set up in your van. That's amazing. It's the way to do it. Big Tom's van says nice campground. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Tanya. KOA is Campgrounds of America. They're like, they're kind of like the Comfort Inn of hotels. Not your bottom of the line, but not your super top of the line. Although some of them get kind of nice. That's why you're looking at expensive. But yeah, like they're too pricey to stay in much, or at least for me they are. Plus, you have your quiet hours you have to fool with and stuff like that. So, Big Tom's fan says Walmart. Absolutely. You are talking my language. Absolutely. And so it's Walmart. It's that roadside in Canada. It's truck stops. And so once you put in the money into the van, then you can be set up and good to go anywhere. It saves you a ton of money. Because like even at the state parks, we get a disability discount. And at least in Tennessee, we do. So that saves you some money. But we were still paying, around $20 a night. I think it was between like 18 and 22. So, I mean, even that, if you travel a lot, you can see where it just really makes the most sense to be on solar. Hey, we have Amber. Hey, Amber. She says, hey, it's Amber saying a huge hi and a good blessing to all. Amber, hello, hello, hello. It is good to see you. We do have. I'm gonna echo Tanya. Yeah. I hope you can get that straightened out soon. Because we miss you. And Candy's saying, tell Amber, Candy and I say hi. Amber's here now. Yay. We're glad to see you. Very, very glad. I'm just going to say hi on John's account until I get the phone. There you go. I'm doing some quick math. And just on campground nights alone, if you were going to have to pay $20, then that would be 100 nights. But you got to look, you're also saving your money on food because you're not having to go to a hotel or to a McDonald's drive-thru or anything like that. So, and you're not having to continually buy ice for the cooler. And ice isn't so bad in the lower 48. But on the Alaska Highway at Pink Mountain, I got hit for $6 for one of those small bags of ice. And I looked in the little cooler and I'm like, I just paid $6 to keep around $6 worth of stuff cold. So with solar, you can run your little ice machine. That's what I did on the next trip. Let me come back in here. And just going to say hi on John's account, which is great. Big Tom's fan says, hi, Amber. Stellar says Amber's back. Candy, you get a pass on lame jokes from me for tonight. Ha. Tanya says, I got to get Archer outside and ready for bed. Good night, sweet dreams, everyone. Good night to you too, Tanya. I'm going to be back online Wednesday on the other channel. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk. I don't know what the deal was the other day, rather. I've got the other channel, Overcoming the Obstacles, and we're doing some prayer stuff and whatnot on that channel. And for some reason, I could live stream, but she couldn't talk to me. So I don't know what's up with that. Yay. Big Tom's fan got a new refrigerator. That is freaking awesome. What kind did you get? And how big is it? Okay, Amber's saying, Stellar, I am not back yet. Well, giving back the phone to John. Okay. Well, good night, Amber. I'm hoping we can too, Tanya. You take care. Good night and good night. Yeah, but that was the craziest thing. She sent me a Facebook message saying, can we talk? And I'm like, I thought something was wrong. And it was, but with the chat. So, Stellar, you were doing your PowerPoint for church. Good for you. Big Tom's fan got an isotherm 85 liter. That's going to be good. Those are pricey, but worth it, from what I can tell. That's really a marine heater, right? Am I thinking about the right one? It's really like for boats, but like the van camping community is kind of taking it over. Cost more than my old van. Yep. Okay. I'm probably thinking of the same one then. Because I looked at one. It was like, I don't remember what size it was, but I'm thinking it was around 1,200. But they're supposed to be worth it. And that's what counts. You don't want to buy food and have it go south on you. Yes, okay. Let's see. Stellar says, yeah, they're calling for rain. Preacher hasn't made an official announcement yet, but I don't want to be slapping it together at 8 in the morning. I hear you. No need to have all that stress. And Big Tom's man says yes. That's cool. Very cool. Now, I was just looking at them online. Somebody had recommended that to me, the isotherm. The other thing, whoa, Mamma Mia. The other refrigerator that was recommended to me was a Dometic refrigerator, which is probably a little bit more common because of the cost than the isotherm. But I remember being very impressed with the isotherm because it has great reputation and would actually, if I'm remembering right, it had the little compartment up there where I could actually like freeze ice cubes. And I like ice in my tea. And John says the new PIP inverters can run on solar panels. It's so cool. Okay, good. Oh, the laptop. What is the model number of that laptop? I am not sure, and I don't have it in the room. It may even actually be out in the car, so I can't even really get it. Stellar, do you have your model number on the Lenovo laptop? Do you have your laptop handy? If so, could you get the model number for him? We have the same laptop. Candy says, Stellar, we need to make music together to help raising funds for your mom. I'll play my dulcimer and you play your flute. Keep it easy like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. All right, we can do. I'll even get out my guitar for that one if we're going to do something easy like Twinkle, Twinkle. Big Tom's Van said, I've used a Whitner 65 for 5 years, chest type. I've not heard of that one, I don't think. It's not ringing any bells. And Stellar says, I'm for it, Candy. And Peter says, okay. Stellar says, Lenovo Ideapad or something. You know, actually, it may be in here in the other room. Hang on just a second. Candy said we could do a live stream while people make donations. I'm up for that. Super chats, whatever. And I've got Patreon too and PayPal, so we can do something with that. Big Tom's Fan says music. Stellar is like, yep, Candy, do you know any Christmas music on the dulcimer? I tell you what, if you guys can hold on just a second, I'm going to go check and see about that laptop model number and if it's in the other room right here. I'll be right back. Voila. I did bring it in from the car. Let me get back here. Christmas music. That will work on that. Stellar says message. Okay. Candy can dance while we make music. That is cool. John's saying we have unique fridge, solar powered. It takes 300 watts to run it, which is awesome. Peter Parker says buffering. And Big Tom's Fan says, I learned some Christmas music. There you go. Well, I hate that it's buffering. I'm pulling it up on my phone right quick. Yeah, it's totally fine on my phone. I'm using my network. On my network on my phone rather than the house where the computer is. I don't want to take too much bandwidth, but it's running fine on my phone. Awesome, John. Peter says it was a second ago. Okay. And John, please don't forget to hit the like button, because all of that's really helpful. And let's see, it's the Lenovo Ideapad 320. Okay. I'll type that. So there you go. So it's a pretty good little laptop, except it's still sick from where good old Microsoft screwed it up for me. So still, I think what I'm going to do is just, I've got all my data off of it. So I'm getting ready to do a full reformat instead of this partial thing. So, because what happened was, some of y'all may remember, was using my laptop and then Windows downloaded an update. And my computer has not been the same since. Took me a couple of days on tech support with Microsoft to get it working at all. And I wound up having to use my husband's computer to get some of the files to be able to do not even the uninstall. It was just a total mess. Basically, everything had to be divided, and like all of my files went into one section of the laptop. And then I had to create this other section and download all of my programs again because I couldn't access the one section. And Microsoft had to talk us through the whole thing. And there, I was like, just give me a website that's got all the steps written out. And they're like, we don't have all the steps written out. And I think really, I was probably one of the first wave of computers that got this stupid update. And so they very soon, like within a couple of weeks, issued another update. So the computer's not worked the same since, but that's what happened. Big Tom Stan said, I've got to get Wi-Fi equipment for the van. Yeah, total mess. And here's the thing, I had the auto updates turned off, but you get to the point when you're using the laptop or any Microsoft thing where you have to reboot it, and the only option you get is to update and reboot. So but on this case, I was in the middle of using it, and all of a sudden it shut off and rebooted. So, but yeah, it was a nightmare, and it still doesn't work right. But at least with all of their help with tech support, at least I was able to get it running again enough to get back online. But I was really ticked because I had to shell out some bucks on programs to download them again. So that was probably the most frustrating experience I've ever had with a computer, because I've been online since 95. I'm not a total idiot when it comes to fixing things and whatnot, but this time it had me stumped. Peter says, yes, you can go up to 16 gig of RAM and upgrade to an SSD. How old is this laptop? I don't remember, actually. Let me see. Maybe I can pull up my Amazon orders. Because I'm pretty sure I got it from Amazon. Whoops, I did not get it from Amazon. Oh, I did a review on it. Hold on. Oh, and it even says in the review, Lenovo Ideapad 320. Right there, right on the specs of the drop down. And in the title. Let me see. When did I do this review? May of 2018. And then this happened, I think it was January of this year when it acted weird. But that's good to know that you can upgrade. What I can do is I can post that to the lady that was asking. Because I think you may have commented on it too. I think I saw that. And I can post that. And Big Tom's fan says, John, unique is cool. That's nice. John said, I went and got a $50 laptop on eBay used. Hey, it doesn't matter what you pay. It matters that it works. And if you can get it for $50, you are doing fabulous. And Big Tom's fan is saying, John, are you off grid with hot water? I think he is. And John says Toshiba. I've been really happy with the Lenovo. It's just that Microsoft did this cute little wonky thing. So it was working fine up until then. Go figure. But that's Microsoft for you sometimes, you know? So things go great until they don't. And that's just Microsoft is both wonderful and frustrating simultaneously. But I guess it's a good thing we're not driving military helicopters and having those reboot, right? So, okay. I am looking. It is 8:22 p.m. We blew right past our hour. I usually try to keep it to an hour, but so much for that tonight. But that's okay. What we'll do is we'll run for just a few more minutes till about 8:30. We'll do that. Okay, Peter Parker says the DD4 RAM is what you need. 2 8 gig of DD4 RAM. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be upgrading, but you know, we did have that question that came in, and you actually got it before I did. You were fast on it. So I could maybe let her know that too. Yeah. So, let's see. Yep. And I appreciate your help on that because I was traveling and then I forgot. So do you want to put that in for her or to her, or do you want me to do it and just tell her that you are the source of the information, the hero of the night? Big Tom's fan says, please insert disc. There you go. Except you don't do that anymore. Oh man, too. I was showing my age. I was talking to this young whippersnapper, and we were talking about, well, several things. We were talking about a tracer route, which I don't think you can do anymore, and talking about playing pranks on each other and whatnot. And we were talking about the insert disc, and I don't know if y'all ever did this, and I don't know if I should be talking about this on air, but sometimes you would send an email that had an extra little something attached to it, and if, as a prank, you could tell a person to click on the link, and it would open up their floppy drive. It would sometimes freak them out, but I only did it to friends, and they did some things to me too. Okay. So I didn't like do this randomly. But yeah, you wouldn't know what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden you're clicking this email and you're watching this little graphic bounce up and down, and the floppy disk drive is opening. So when you said, please insert disk, it made me think of that. But the person that I was talking to was like, floppy drive? And I kind of lost her, but that's okay. Peter, what is your Halloween costume? Says Big Tom's Band. And Peter says Spider-Man. Candy says, I used my Samsung S4 tablet in March 2018. I use as my computer. Very nice. Big Tom's Fan says, cool. And Peter Parker said, yep. And says, you can tell her, Gail. Okay, I'll do that. And I'll just let her know that you are the source. So that'll be good. And let's see. A message has come up hidden for review. I don't know what that is, so I'll tell her. Stellar says, Peter, I thought for sure you'd be Santa for Halloween. John Off-Grid Tryon Solar says, yes, but my solar hot water MPP solar hot water heater controller got hit by lightning, so we're using tankless right now. I think I will get C40 controller this time. That's a shame about the lightning. Now, do you have more trouble with lightning since you're off grid and you've got more area to kind of attract lightning? Or do you think that's anything that the average person has to worry about? And John's saying for hot water, sure. And Candy says, Candy the service dog rather says that she and Candy are going to be candy corn. That's going to be cute. I am not going to have a costume. I'm just going to be me. I figure that's scary enough. I'll type that in right now to her, Peter, before I forget. Okay. I got it. And let's see here. John said we got hit when I was on the grid a lot. Gotcha. Peter says Nightmare Before Christmas. Pretty much. I could do that for Halloween, but nah. So, all right, it's 8:30. We've been going for a little while, which is great. But I think that since we've gone over on time, I really do want to try to be good stewards of your time. I don't want to keep you forever because at some point you'll be bored and you'll fall asleep. But I do want to thank you all for coming out and for being part of the channel and being part of the Bodacious community here. I appreciate it. So does anybody have anything they want to say or add before we go for the night? Oh, let's see. Stellar is saying, hey, it's a great movie. I have not ever seen that. I have never seen that movie. I guess I should though, huh? Oh, that was Facebook again. The good old Facebook noise. We got slapped with a demonetization on this. That's just crazy. We've got a yellow flag. I don't know what we talked about that flagged it, but oh well. They make lightning protectors for solar. That's good to know. Big Tom's Band says, bye everyone. It was fun. And Tanya says, we love you. And then says, tell hubby we love him as well. Tanya says, huh? Why? I don't know. It's just a YouTube thing. It's done that for the past couple of live streams that we've done. So I don't know. But it's a yellow flag, so it'll probably turn green, but who knows? Who knows? But anyway, Candy the Weed Service Dog says, thank you, Gail, and everyone have a great Sunday and week. And John says, what? Yeah, little demonetization there, but that's okay. Tanya says, you're too popular. I don't know about that, but thank you. I appreciate that. We did roll over 600,000 views, just saying. Very happy, very appreciative of you guys for that. And Tanya says, you too, Candy. Well, you all take care. Don't forget, it is always about hashtag be bodacious, which means don't let life get in the way of living, because it will, and don't let it. And have a great week, you all. I will see you Saturday at 7. I'll be on Wednesday at noon on the other channel. So